Welcome to Podomatic. I am Jesse. I've been podcasting for about 10 years, and I'm here to help you set up your podcast, get your first episode off the ground, and help your fan base grow and help your subscribers also grow. Let's get right into it. You've decided to start a podcast, you've been thinking about it for a while, and you're ready to get going. That's why I'm here. Register. Now we're here. So first things first, what's your podcast name? Your name should be a topic related, but also memorable. So since mine's going to be about helping you guys grow, we're going to call this the Podcaster's Blueprint. So your author should be either obviously you, but you could make it a stage name on the internet. I personally go by JB, but also for today's purpose, we're going to go with Jesse. Obviously, what language your podcast is in is important. You're going to decide to put what language is primary. For me, that's English. Okay, next, the description. This is going to be essentially a 2-minute elevator pitch on what your podcast is about. This will help let people know the simple ones and twos about it. For this, our podcast is going to be about educating and showing people how to grow one. So figure mine could be something about helping others grow a podcast by showing the important beginning steps. There you go. See, this is something that can always be changed. It's something that it's good to just get off the ground. And as your episodes unravel, you'll start to get a better idea on kind of what your podcast really is about. Then we're going to go with set up my podcast. There's some of these steps that you'll find a little redundant, tedious, and boring. However, they're super important because this is going to create the foundation of your podcast. Make sure there's no slip-ups, any incorrect data that could mislead either your viewers or your episodes not actually landing. So it's super important to verify your email. Next is going to be your RSS feed. So the RSS feed essentially is going to be the email that publishes your podcast. So this is how people will subscribe to your podcast in places like Spotify, Apple. It's the core of how your podcasting works. Many directors will need to verify you through the embedded RSS. So again, don't mess around and do this part because it's only going to help you in the future and avoid future headaches. Next, your podcast category. This is going to be something that's obviously based on what you want to create, but the categories may change again on how the episodes unravel, because this podcast is going to be a version of education and training. I'm going to put something along those lines. So we can do training. And again, this is something that you could change and update as time goes on. All right, a description. As you notice, we already filled that out on the page before. However, it's here to show that you've made it and it's complete. Next, the artwork. So the artwork, obviously, it's going to be like the album cover of your podcast. It's going to be the visual effect. So what you'll want to do is grab either a picture off the internet, something that you made custom, and whatever you prefer, and you're going to upload it here. So for me, I have a picture saved from my computer, so I'm just going to go here. And then as you can see, this is the description section that you can also edit over here. Okay, podcast tags. This is going to be something, again, quick little one-word categories to help categorize your podcast. So for me, this is a tutorial podcast education, so I can just add that there. The category that we filled in earlier was there as well. And again, we can always edit this as we go on. Obviously, the podcast cities are going to be where you're from, where you're broadcasting out of. So here at Podomatic, we're based out of San Francisco, so we're going to put that. Explicit content, obviously, you can be honest with your audience. If you plan on cursing, it's okay to mark that here, yes or no. If you plan to have a childlike audience, something more of the kid-like content, something for all ears, and then you're going to mark this as no. For a number of episodes in the feed, obviously you're going to work on the first one, but this right here is showing that you can only have 15 max per show. So what you're going to want to do is go to all, because once you clear up in the 300 plus episode range, this is where you're going to show all of them on your page. Go ahead and select yes for the resizing of the images. Sometimes the image that you selected online can either be too small, too big, and it could throw off the pixelation and sometimes make it look a little weird. This is going to help you fit it perfectly per your page. So now let's save this and we're going to take a look. So as you can see, your podcast is up here to the left. All of your tabs right here are going to be where you manage and handle all of your podcast dashboard directories and essentially navigate through your episodes and how you'll post and so on. Make sure you tune in with us as we continue to grow this channel, this page, because I'm going to continue to help you guys throughout the many steps of podcasting. But for now, today's episode was about setting up the podcast, making sure you're getting the nooks and crannies and some of the tedious parts that could be seen as overwhelming and unimportant done, because they're super important and they're only going to help you continue to build in the podcast space and industry. Follow us as we continue to help you grow in the podcast space. Again, I am Jesse with Podomatic. Catch you later.